Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi. And anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. So we got to see some of Levi Onwuzurike. Difficult name to pronounce, but fun player to watch. One interesting thing about him, and it's interesting because I feel like every now and then there's someone in the draft who I just feel so confident is going to be successful, but it seems like that's not the general consensus. Levi Onwuzurike wasn't selected until the 41st pick by the Detroit Lions, but if you watch his tape, I'm telling you, the tape is incredible, and even in in the NFL now, he's looked fantastic, and it hasn't just been my opinion. I mean, if you're a Pro Football Focus fan, they gave him a grading of 90.5, which, I mean, that's got to be up there with the best rookies in the draft class. It is a small sample size, only 17 snaps, 10 of which were pass rush, 7 run defense. So, that factors in for sure. But he was really good. He was awesome. And I do feel like he's someone who the Lions absolutely knocked out of the park with this second-round pick. And what's crazy is he's the kind of player who teams are constantly looking for, right? The dominant interior defensive lineman who can stop the run and can also pass rush. So there's a lot to love about him. So let's just jump into the film study. Sorry, I rambled for a bit. So we'll get into the film study and talk about why I like him so much. So we'll start off with this play. He's going to be going up one-on-one against the Steelers center right here. One thing that's worth noting is that there's going to be a tight end, Eric Ebron, who's going to kind of pull over to block. And I watched this play a few times because it almost made me wonder, is this some sort of a fake? And at first I thought it might be, but I don't believe so, just because of 53, the Pittsburgh Steelers' reaction to it. Watch how quick Onwuzurike is going to get through here. Look, right off the line, he immediately gets past him and is able to get over until he gets blocked by Ebron. It's very possible this was just a good fake, but either way, I would say that's impressive of just that first step. It's a little bit Gerald McCoy-like, perhaps, of that first step can be so important, especially when you're going up against a center who, has to start with his hands down. It's a little bit more difficult to get the hand placement you want because you have to obviously snap the ball and then get your hands up. You're a half second behind. So someone who is as quick as Onwuzurike, it's good there. Again, very, very possible that this is not a good play by Onwuzurike as much as I want to believe it is, just because I don't know if this is intentional or not by Pittsburgh, but I don't believe it was. And now we'll move on to this play because, listen, even if you don't want to give him credit for that play, there's no running out of place to give him credit for. So this is in the running game. It's going to be a double team, and what's going to be just so impressive is how well he takes this double team on. He is a true disruptor. He is a guy who you got to put multiple guys on him, and even if you do, he might still not move too much, which is, having a guy like that is just so crucial for the running game. When you have someone like that, it can just make the running game so much more difficult. We've seen this time and time again. When you have that true elite, whether it's a nose tackle or a defensive tackle, the guy who just completely takes on a whole team, it makes running the ball nearly impossible. And, listen, they play in a division with Dalvin Cook. They play in a division with Aaron Jones. So that kind of stuff. And even David Montgomery is good. So having a guy like that, like Onwuzurike, who can kind of be a chess piece to use against that, it's very good. And watch what's going to happen on this play. Look, you have multiple players try to push him aside, but look at how he's just taking on a double team. You can't get off this double team and block somebody else at this point. This play is completely blown up right now. You had to use 2 guys on Onwuzurike, and you didn't even clear him out of the way too much. So the fact that you have to use multiple guys on him, typically you want to, someone finishes off the double team, blocks somebody else. That's ideal. I don't know if you'll be able to do that against 75 from Detroit. This play was incredible. So one thing that he got bashed for in the draft process a little bit was his size. He's not as big as some of these other defensive tackles, although he looks bigger in an NFL uniform. I'm not sure if he has put on weight or what. He does look bigger. In college, he definitely looked a little small, but his strength didn't. He always had incredible strength, and he's going to show it off right here. It's a one-on-one matchup with a tackle, and one thing he's going to do is he's going to try to just latch on with his left arm, grab the right shoulder pad, and push back, and watch what he's going to do. Look at how he just is able to force him back like that. So at this point, he's completely blown up this play, right? This is moving the line of scrimmage backwards, and when there's not much room to go here with how backed up the Steelers are, that's a good thing for the Detroit Lions. And I mean, look at how there's really nothing that Pittsburgh could do on that play. There's several guys you could credit for that tackle, but I would say the biggest one was Onwuzurike, the second-round pick, who probably should have never been a second-rounder. He should have been a first-rounder, and stuff like that is exactly why. He can move incredibly well, and he can just bully guys, quite frankly. That's the word I kept thinking of when I was watching the tape. He can just bully guys. He can shove guys around. That's what he was able to do in college. It's what he's been able to do in the NFL so far. And then you also have something like this. So he's going up one-on-one against an offensive lineman as well. This is a center. And again, I could really see him thriving here, going up, against the center in one-on-one matchups. It's a good scenario for everybody, but I think it could be a really good scenario for Onwuzurike because of how much he likes to get the hand locked on and use his strength. And watch what's going to happen with his left hand right here. So, right when this play starts, look at how Onwuzurike with his left arm grabs that right shoulder pad. And with that, he can pretty much control this play. What he's going to do is a swim move. He gets his right arm and just, take like a stroke in a pool. He just puts it over the Steeler center right here. And again, he's so strong, he can do this stuff. Look, perfect hand placement, runs over and hits Mason Rudolph, gets a pressure right there. Just a really good play from Onwuzurike. And he is someone who I think can do this kind of stuff consistently. I think that they absolutely knocked this pick out of the park to get a guy that people are constantly looking for, a guy who can stop the run and pass rush from the inside. And they got him as late as they did. I don't know. I think it's a steal, and, I think he's a really good prospect. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of my thing. And listen, the Lions were in a very rough shape after their defensive genius coach, Matt Patricia, made their defense horrible. So, so many of the players they have are guys specifically designed to fit a defense that clearly was not working in the NFL. So how exactly, what do you do about this? Well, I think one thing you can do is just get some good players. And Levi Onwuzurike is a good player who should hopefully just help make them a better team, I think. And at least, as a guy who, listen, I don't think the Lions are going to be too successful this year. I think it's a rebuilding year. Draft someone in a position that typically takes a year to develop. Levi Onwuzurike could be very good. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know. What are your thoughts on Onwuzurike? Do you agree that he does look great? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.